Hello, class 12 students. Today I am welcome you all in a new video lecture of the fifth chapter, that is South Asia in contemporary world. So we have to understand that which part of Asia is considered as South Asia, and we have to also understand that why this region is still lagging behind comparatively other part of Asia, or rather than Southeast Asia, and what are the common features of the region, common problem of this region. So when we are talking about the South Asia constitutes the countries, that is India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and Maldives. And later in 2007, Afghanistan also became the member of SHARC, and that is also considered as the part of this region. But South Asia consists only these seven nations. So all these countries which constitute South Asian countries are suffering from common problem. What are that common problems are? That common problems are poverty, hunger, diseases, illiteracy, ethnic conflicts, border disputes, mutual distrust, and cultural diversity, etc. And the most important, that the two prominent countries of this region, India and Pakistan, are armed with nuclear weapons, and they have also mutual distrust and many disputes with each others. So if South Asia countries fall down, the many problems can come in the regions. And here I want to mention also that the total population of this region is very much, and it is a densely populated area of the world, and most of the countries in this region are can be considered as the developing can be considered as a developing countries. So when we are talking about this entire region, the many thing which is common in this region, that South Asia terribly upset over many issues, whether big or small, or something tended to consider the neighboring countries as their enemies. At the same time, they do realize that they should have good neighboring relations with the countries next door. There is saying that we can't, and it is a common saying here, that we can't change our neighbors, we can change our friends. And Pakistan and Bangladesh will remain situated at the same place where they are today. So the countries of this region, they may have many problems, but in spite of, they have to live together, and they have to share many things commonly. So Southeast Asia is the region that includes the countries laying south of Himalayas and surrounded by Indian Oceans in the south, Arabian Sea on the west, and Bay of Bengal in the east. So the region is marked by many type of seasons, various kinds of climate, because of which it has a rich and varied vegetation, minerals, and forest of wildly different part. It, what does it show? It shows that this region is quite rich in the natural resources. नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज में काफ़ी धनी होने के बावजूद इस रीजन में हम उस तरह का डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्रेस नहीं देख पाते हैं जैसा दूसरे हिस्से में साउथ ईस्ट एशिया इन सब जगहों पे देखते हैं. So when we are talking about the point of economic resources, economy resource and strategic position, South Africa is very important region of the Asia. So being skirted by the Indian Ocean, this region links with Europe and Africa to Asia, and Austria and Pacific Ocean connect the region with the North and South America. Myanmar also included in the South Asia, and the most important thing when we are talking about the South Asia, China is a formidable power, but it is not part of this region. It means that entire South Asian region is interfered by the China, and China is always playing a important role in the politics or the development or the resolving problems in this region. यहाँ पे I am giving you one current example that we can see that how there is a dispute between the Nepal and India is emerging in the recent days on the issue of territory, and we all know that China is playing very important role. Now we will talk about various political system in South Asia. So when we are talking about the political system in the South Asia, we can see that India and Sri Lanka, both these countries have a democratic system, spite of they are also having many problem. When we are talking about India, in India we can see a difference on the basis of religion as well as corruption, or we can see the casteism, and the quality of administration is also. But in spite of it, India is progressing and strengthening its democracy by resolving all the issues by the democratic manner. So that's why we can see that many problems which arise in India, in the different parts of India, that can be solved in mm, very much considerable way and democratic way. When we are talking about the Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka is also having a democracy, and it has a great ethnic division and a strong rift emerged in Sri Lanka between the Sinhala and the Tamil community, and that crippled Sri Lankan administration. But Sri Lanka democratic system remained unchanged throughout its existence as an independent country. Bangladesh, then we will talk about the Bangladesh, as we know that India played a very important role in the liberation of East Bengal or Bangladesh. But in 1975, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was assassinated, and this country went through political instability, and since 2001 it has democracy, democratically elected government. When we are talking about Pakistan, Pakistan is the country in this region. After the end of Cold War, Pakistan has been for a few years democratically elected government in October 99. However, after 11 years democracy in Pakistan replaced by dictatorship, or from the beginning we can say that in Pakistan the power has changed between the different rulers, like from the beginning General Ayub Khan, then Yahya Khan, and by this way the politics of Pakistan was dominated by the military rulers, and sometimes it has democracy. After that, military took over, take place in the Pakistan. When we are talking about, and here I want to mention that Pakistan is can be described as a failed state, uh, and that's why failed state in establishment of democracy, and it has also a great problem of terrorism. That is also one of the big reason of the failure of the establishment of democracy in Pakistan. When we are talking about the Nepal, Nepal has had in the past it has a constitutional monarchy, but following the movement of democracy, the Nepal would be secular democratic state. And after 2014, a new prime minister became, and political crisis in Nepal had not fully ended, but it is experiencing a new democratic government. Bhutan is a constitutional monarchy, and in Bhutan we can say that People Democratic Party has their constitutional monarchy in Bhutan, and it is smoothly going with its political system. Then when are talking about the Maldives. Maldives lying to the southwest of the India and consist more than 1200 island, small island. Formerly it is used to be under an elected sultan. In 1968, it declared itself republic, and in 2005, the Parliament of Maldives have introduced multi-party system in the country, and there are now many political party in the Maldives, and it is working. And when we are talking about the Afghanistan became a member of South Asia in 2007, and the monarch was overthrown in there, and in 1990 there was a fundamental Islamic movement in the Afghanistan, and after years of fanatism, the Talibani regimes ended in 2001 December. After it was as we know that USA was played there a very important role in ending this Taliban regime, and it becomes a democratically elected president in 2004, and he was re-elected again in 2014. By this way we can say that the South Asia have a political system under which the different state of the South Asia have different type of political system, and in the next video we will talk about different states, Pakistan, Bhutan, about different in different states how they have developed economically, politically, and by others way.